Myself, Professor Khemchan Surana. In last session, we have started with the beta lactam antibiotics, and in that we have seen the introduction of beta lactam antibiotics, their classification. Okay, four main subclasses of these beta lactam antibiotics. Okay, and further we have started with the in detail about the penicillin. Okay, and we have seen the introductory part of penicillin. Okay, with chemistry of penicillin, also the nomenclature and stereochemistry. These different points we have seen in last session. Okay, so now in today's session we will discuss about the classification of your penicillins. Okay, and further details. Okay, so now we'll move to the classification of penicillin. Okay, on the basis of different particular ways. Okay, so on the basis of sources. Okay, so penicillin are divided into, okay, you can see into the particular pictorial diagram. Okay, so different classes of antibiotic has been given over here. Okay, so on the basis of sources. Okay, so there are two main subclasses of this penicillin, natural penicillin and semi synthetic penicillin. Okay, so in natural penicillin, penicillin G and penicillin V, these are two examples. Further, in semi-synthetic class, there is what oxazilin, cloxacillin, dicloxacillin, methicillin. Okay, these are the examples. Okay, now second is what, on the basis of route of administration. Okay, on the basis of route of administration, penicillins are classified into again two subcategories. Okay, oral penicillin and parenteral penicillins. So oral, in oral oral penicillins. Okay, so examples is what, ampicillin, amoxicillin, penicillin V, oxacillin, cloxacillin and dicloxacillin. And in parenteral penicillins, penicillin G, methicillin, nafcillin, carbicillin, piperacillin and ticarcillin. These are what examples. Third class is what, your spectrum of activity. Okay, on the basis of spectrum of activity. So in this class, basically again four subclasses will be there: narrow spectrum, broad spectrum, intermediate spectrum and extended spectrum. Okay, so in narrow spectrum, example is what, methicillin, oxacillin, nafcillin and dicloxacillin. Broad spectrum antibiotics are ampicillin and amoxicillin. Intermediate spectrum antibiotic is penicillin G and penicillin V. Extended spectrum are carbicillin, ticarcillin, piperacillin and mesoxicillin. Okay, so now the fourth classification is what, on the basis of resistance to enzyme. Okay, so on this basis again two subclasses will be there. First is what, your resistance to beta lactamase enzyme, and second is what, non-resistance to beta lactamase enzyme. So in resistance to beta lactamase enzyme, example is what, methicillin, nafcillin, oxacillin, okay, etc. These are what example. And on the basis of non-resistance to beta lactamase, examples is what, penicillin G, penicillin V, ampicillin, etc. Now the fifth and last class of this penicillin is what, on the basis of resistance to acid. Okay, so on the basis of resistance to acid, again two subclasses will be there. First is what, your acid stable penicillins, and second is what, acid unstable penicillins. Okay, so penicillin V, ampicillin, amoxicillin, okay, etc. These are what, your acid stable penicillins. And penicillin G, methicillin, nafcillin, okay, these are what, your acid unstable penicillins. Okay, so this is what about your classification of penicillin. Now we'll move to the details of every class of these penicillin. Okay, so first we will discuss about the natural penicillins. Okay, so here you can see the basic structure of penicillin is given over here. Okay, so basic structure of penicillin is what, your beta lactam ring with 5-member thiazolidine ring. These are fused. Okay, so we can call it a bicyclic ring system. Okay, and overall structure we can call 6 amino penicillinic acid. Okay, with this acyl amino side chain group. Okay, so at R group, okay, you can see I have highlighted the R group position. Okay, so that is what side chain at substituted at what side chain. Okay, so the basic structure given over here. So initially practice these basic structure. Okay, so if you remember the basic structure, whatever the different structures of penicillin, it will easy to draw to students. Okay, so initially practice the basic structure and then remember the substitution at R position. Okay, so now in examples of natural penicillin, first is what your penicillin G. Okay, so this penicillin G will also called as benzyl penicillin. Okay, substitution is what your benzyl group substitution will be there, means CH2 and benzene ring. Okay, benzene ring at one position, CH2 will be there, and that will be substituted to these acyl amino side chain. Okay, that is penicillin G. Next example is what your penicillin V. Okay, so penicillin V also called as phenoxymethyl penicillin. Okay, so you can see the phenoxy group has been substituted to the R position. Okay, will get the penicillin G. Okay, so next is what your example phenethicillin. Okay, so phenethicillin, you can see whatever the phenoxy group, okay, in case of penicillin V, we are going to substitute the one hydrogen of these CH2 will replace by CH3 group. Okay, and whatever the structure of penicillin V as it is. Okay, so this is about what your natural penicillins, that is what first class. Okay, and just draw and practice these structures. Next is what your penicillinase susceptible penicillins. Okay, second class is what your penicillinase susceptible penicillins. Okay, in that again the basic structure given over here as it is. Okay, the general impact of antibacterial activity like this. Okay, so the gram positive potency against the susceptible staphylococci and streptococci. Okay, so whatever these penicillinase susceptible penicillins, okay, they are having a good gram positive potency. Okay, against what your staphylococci and streptococci species. Okay, useful against what, some gram positive cocci. These penicillins useful against the gram positive cocci, but not effective against the gram negative bacilli. Okay, they were useful against what your gram positive, but not useful against what your gram negative bacilli. So the examples of these penicillinase susceptible penicillin given over here. So first example is what your methicillin. Okay, so at R position you can see into the basic structure. Okay, at R position there is what dimethoxybenzene has been substituted you can see into the substitution table. Okay, second example is what your oxacillin. Okay, so in case of this oxacillin, oxazole will be there. Okay, so there is what R1 R2 substitution on your benzene ring, and this benzene ring will attaches to your methyl oxazole. Okay, so and R1 and R2 is equal to what your hydrogen will be there. Next example is what your cloxacillin. Okay, so again the similar structure like your oxacillin. Okay, but here R1 is equal to hydrogen and R2 is equal to what, chlorine will be there. You can see into the table. Okay, R1 is equal to hydrogen and R2 is equal to chlorine will be there. The remaining structure of oxacillin as it is. Okay, in the structure of oxacillin, just replace the one hydrogen, okay, by chlorine. Okay, you will get the cloxacillin. Next is example is what your dicloxacillin. Okay, so in this case again the oxacillin structure as it is, but at R1 and R2 position, okay, R1 is equal to R2, there will be what, chlorine group will be there. Okay, at both position there will be what, chlorine group will be there. Okay, next example is what your floxacillin. Okay, so floxacillin is what, at R1 is equal to fluorine will be there and R2 is equal to chlorine will be there, means structure of your oxacillin as it is, but at R1 is equal to fluorine and R2 is equal to chlorine. Okay, so these are what different penicillinase susceptible penicillins. Okay, and this is what about your second class. Okay, now third is what your penicillinase resistance penicillin. Okay, penicillinase resistance penicillin. So basically these decreases the susceptibility to many penicillinase enzyme. Okay, these penicillin decreases the susceptibility, then active against the microorganisms. Okay, resistance to early penicillin. Okay, so means those microorganisms, they were shows the resistance to early developed penicillins. Okay, in this case these penicillinase resistance penicillins are useful. Okay, so oxacillin. Okay, oxacillin offers good oral activity. So example from these penicillinase resistance penicillin is what? Oxacillin. You can in previous class here is what your structure of oxacillin given. Okay, in second class. Okay, so same structure you have to write in this class. Okay, so next is what your aminopenicillin. Okay, aminopenicillins. Okay, so this is what again important as per your examination in exams. So aminopenicillins were asked. Okay, write down the aminopenicillins. Okay, so in that you have to draw the structures, mechanism of action and SAR. Okay, so again basic structure given over here. Okay, at side chain there is what R group substituted. Okay, so the examples of these aminopenicillin is what? Ampicillin, amoxicillin and talampicillin. Okay, ampicillin, amoxicillin and talampicillin. Okay, so at R group there will be what? These a particular substitution benzene ring CH2 CH3 NH2. Okay, so these we have to substitute. Okay, and in case of amoxicillin the same substitution as like your ampicillin, but only at fourth position there will be what? OH will be there. Okay, OH will be there. You can see into the substitution table. Okay, at R is equal to. Next example is what your talampicillin. Okay, so the basic structure given over here again. Okay, so in this case basically R has been substituted on this carboxyl group. Okay, so on this carboxyl group this R1 substitution they have shown into the table, you can see. So at this position this particular substituent we have to substitute at this R1. So these are what? Different aminopenicillins. Okay, so these are having an extended spectrum activity against some gram negative bacteria and retention of gram positive potency. Okay, so extended spectrum activity and retention of gram positive activity, and also basically ineffective against Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Okay, so these are what? Ineffective against Pseudomonas aeruginosa species. Next is what? Your anti-pseudomonal penicillins. Okay, or we can call it as a carboxy penicillins. Okay, so initially we have seen aminopenicillins, now here is what? Your carboxy penicillins. Okay, or we can also call anti-pseudomonal penicillins. Okay, so basic structure again given over here at R particular we have to substitute. Okay, into the side chain. Okay, so example is what? Your carbicillin. Okay, so you can see. Okay, so this particular substituent. Okay, benzene ring CH COOR1. Okay, COOR1. So similar substituent in case of second example indanyl carbonicillin. Okay, so in this case basically a difference is what? R1. You can see at the carboxyl group COOH there is what? R1 they have given. So in case of carbicillin we have to put hydrogen over here, and in case of R1, okay, in case of indanyl carbonicillin, okay, there is what? 5-indanol. Okay, so these are what? Two examples of carboxy penicillins, carbonicillin and indanyl carbonicillin. Next example is what? Your ticarcillin. Okay, so in case of ticarcillin there is what? Thiophene ring with CHCOOR1 at R1 is equal to what? Hydrogen. Okay, into the basic structure. So these are what? Different carboxy penicillins. Okay, next is what? Your uridopenicillins. Okay, so this is what again important as per your examination. Okay, so these are having a enhanced spectrum of activity. Okay, against Pseudomonas aeruginosa species, and expanded activity against uh, the Leishmania species. Okay, so these uridos penicillins having good potency against gram positive bacteria, but generally they are not effective against the penicillinase producers. Okay, means particular the bacteria they were producing this penicillinase enzyme, against that these are not effective. And also these are having a good pharmacokinetic profile and having a good activity against Escherichia coli or E. coli we can call, then Klebsiella, then Shigella, then Salmonella, and many other resistant species. Okay, so these are what different particular things that we have to remember about these penicillins. Okay, so example of this uridopenicillin is given over here. Okay, again the basic structure given over here. Okay, at R group we have to substitute, okay, into the side chain. So aziocillin example is what, aziocillin. So this is what particular amide linkage you can see. Okay, benzene ring CH 3NH C double bond O, and particular ketonic saturated imidazole kind of a structure. Okay, that we have to substitute in case of aziocillin. Okay, next example is what your piperacillin. Okay, piperacillin. So this is what piperazine ring will be there. Okay, at second and third position there is what C double bond, means ketonic group will be there. Okay, at first nitrogen there is what C2H5 will be there, and at second nitrogen by this urea's linkage it is linked with what, your benzene ring. Okay, so this substitute we have to substitute in case of piperacillin. So this is what about uridopenicillins. Next is what, your miscellaneous penicillins. Okay, so miscellaneous penicillins, again the basic structure given over here. Okay, so at R group we have to substitute. Okay, example is what, your quinacillin. Okay, so particular quinacillin you can see the particular substituent. Okay, 1,4 nitrogen. Okay, then next example is what, your amidinos penicillin. Okay, also called as a mesalinam. Okay, so this particular 7-member ring we have to substitute. Okay, then azidoxyline. Okay, this particular substituent, and becampicillin. Okay, so these are what different examples of miscellaneous penicillins. Okay, so this is what about the different penicillins that we have seen. So in that whatever the classes we have seen here. Okay, so natural penicillins are important as per example, as per examination point of view. Okay, then penicillin is susceptible, these are important. Okay, then these aminopenicillins, carboxypenicillins, okay, and uridopenicillins, these all classes are what, your important. Just draw all the basic structure initially, practice it, and draw all the structures. Okay, so structures are necessary. So now we'll move towards the mechanism of action of these penicillin. Okay, so penicillin are bactericidal antibiotics. Okay, and as they kill microorganism when they use at therapeutic dose, means what, at therapeutic doses penicillins are act as a bactericidal. Okay, the synthesis of cell wall of bacteria is completely dependent upon the enzyme name as transpeptidase. Okay, so bacterial cell wall synthesis, okay, that is completely dependent on the particular enzyme, and that enzyme is named as what, your transpeptidase. Okay, so primarily penicillin inhibit the cell wall of the bacteria by blocking the transpeptidase after binding to the penicillin binding protein, that is what PBB, and prevent synthesis. Okay, so how these penicillins has been act, as we know the transpeptidase enzyme is required for bacterial cell wall synthesis. So primarily what will happen, these penicillins will block these transpeptidase enzyme. Okay, how they were blocked, by binding to the penicillinase binding protein. Okay, the penicillin will bind to this PBB protein and block the transpeptidase enzyme. Once this blockade has been causes, they will prevent the synthesis of your particular cell wall of bacteria. Okay, So it results the bacterial cell die from the lysis. Okay, through lysis, cell lysis process, the bacteria has been die. So penicillin do not kills other cell into the body. Okay, means they were selectively act on what your bacterial cell walls only. They will not act on the any other kind of cell like human cells. Okay, so this is what the particular point that we need to remember. Okay, so as we know, at therapeutic doses, these particular penicillin shows their bactericidal activity. Okay, but some other antibiotics, okay, these are having also bacteriostatic action. Okay, you can see into the these flow chart, antibiotics which are what having bacteriostatic as well as bactericidal, but penicillins are having what your bactericidal activity. Okay, so they inhibit the synthesis of peptidoglycan layer containing NAM and NAC. NAM and NAC means what your N-acyl muramic acid and N-acyl glucosamine. Okay, NAM and NAC. These are what component of your peptidoglycan layer connected by penicillin binding proteins (PBB). Okay, and which act on the PBB and inhibit the peptidoglycans. Okay, so initially we have seen what by blocking of transpeptidase, and second is what by inhibiting the synthesis of peptidoglycan layer, okay, which contain NAM and NAC proteins. Okay, so here you can see this is what the peptidoglycan cell wall. Okay, in that you can see the red color component which is attached the two layers of this peptidoglycan by NAM, and this green color NAC. Okay, so NAM means what your N-acetyl muramic acid and NAC means what N-acetyl glucosamine. Okay, these are what components of these peptidoglycans. Okay, so transpeptidases are located within the cell membrane and are responsible for cross-linking the peptidoglycan chains. In order to make the rigid grid, there is some enzyme called as a transpeptidase which connects the little peptide strings perpendicular to the NAM and NAC. Okay, so in this diagram particular you can see, so these different particular chains, okay, of this peptidoglycan were connected by this NAM and NAC protein. Okay, so that is what the thing that we have to remember. Okay, so here particularly penicillins inactivate the transpeptidase enzyme, okay, by covalent binding to the serine residue. Okay, particular what serine residue within the active site, and bonding it by acetylation. So here is what the transpeptidase enzyme at the position of penicillinase binding protein. So this is what the mechanism of action of your penicillin by inhibition of transpeptidase enzyme, blockage of protein synthesis. Okay, and also inhibition of peptidoglycan layer which contain the NAM and NAC. Okay, so now we will move to the SAR of penicillin. Okay, structure activity relationship of your penicillin. Now your basic structure given. Okay, so numbering has been given as per your as per your what case system, chemical abstraction system. In previous session we have seen the nomenclature of penicillin. In that we have seen the two classification. First is what case system for nomenclature. According to case system, sulfur has been first priority. So the numbering has been given. Okay, so as per numbering the SAR we have to see. So at position 1 means at first position there is what sulfur group will be there. Okay, so when the sulfur atom of the thiazolidine ring, okay, this sulfur atom of the thiazolidine ring is oxidizes to sulfone or sulfoxide. Okay, once this sulfur group has been oxidizes to either what sulfone or sulfur oxide. Okay, it improves the acid stability and decreases the activity of the agent. Okay, once this sulfur has been oxidizes, it leads to what improve acid stability and decrease activity. Okay, means what it is necessary, whatever the sulfur is present at position 1, it is as it is necessary for its activity. That means what at position 2, okay, second point, at second there is what 2 methyl group will be there. So no substitution will be allowed at this position. Any change will lower the activity. Okay, the methyl group are necessary. Okay, so whatever 2 methyl group are present at position second, these are necessary for activity, and if any other substitution will substitute, it will loses its activity. Okay. Now at third position, position 3, there is what carboxylic group will be there in structure. So carboxylic acid of the thiazolidine is required for activity. Okay, so this carboxylic group is what you are required for your activity if it changes to an alcohol or ester. Once this acid has been changes to alcohol or ester, okay, it decreases the activity. Okay. So at position 4, there is what nitrogen must for activity. Okay. At position 5, okay, there will be no substitution will be allowed. Okay, because at 5 and 6 position there is what cis conformation. In stereochemistry we have discussed, that is what at 5 and 6 position there is what cis conformation will be there. So that is necessary for biological activity of penicillin. Okay. Now at 7th position, okay, the carbonyl on the beta lactam ring is must. Okay. So whatever the carbonyl group, okay, at present at 7th position, okay, that is necessary for your activity. You can say at 7th position there is what C double bond O carbonyl group, that is necessary for your activity. Now the last is what your position 6, the substitution are allowed on the side chain. Okay, already we have seen the classification. Okay, different examples, whatever examples are is what your at R6 position, means amide side linkage position. Okay, substitution is allowed only at what your 6th position, that is what amide side chain. An electron withdrawing group added to this position. Okay, if we'll add the electron withdrawing group at this position, okay, so will give the compound better acid stable. Okay, means they will give what better acid stable compound, because this substitution will make the amide oxygen less nucleophilic. Okay, once we will substitute this electron withdrawing group, okay, at the 6th position, okay, amide side linkage, it will give the better acid stable product, because it will make the amide oxygen less nucleophilic. Okay. Second is what your the bulky group added close to the ring will give compound more resistance to the beta lactamase. Okay, if we will substitute the bulkier group at position 6, it makes the compound resistance towards the beta lactamase enzyme. Okay. Next is what your steric hindrance protect to the beta lactam ring. Okay, if the substitution in such a kind, it will create a steric hindrance, okay, that will provide the protection to the beta lactam ring. Okay, that is what important as per your activity, and this is what about the SAR of your penicillin. I hope all of you get all the points. Next is what again here already that we have discussed the basic structure given over here, and at position 5 and position 6 there is what cis stereochemistry is essential for your activity. Okay, that is the point given over here. At position 5 and position 6 you can see into the structure the cis stereochemistry which is necessary for your biological activity. So the side chain can be replaced with the different R group. Okay, already we have seen this examples classification. So at different side chain amide side chain there will be what R group. Okay, so different substituent we have substituted and obtained the different compounds with broad spectral antibacterial activity. Okay, so 3 chiral centers. Okay, in chemistry already we have discussed C3, C5 and C6. At these 3 positions there will be what chiral centers, and these are required for what your penicillin bioactivity. Okay, the presence of carboxy group is a requirement for PBB recognition when the esteration of its behave as a prodrug, and the viability will be the rising. Okay, so basically whatever these carboxyl group given over here at position 3, okay, that is what required for your activity, and once we will esterified it, okay, we will convert it into ester. Okay, it will convert it into what the prodrug. Okay, whatever prodrug, and it will increases its biological activity. So this is what about your SAR of penicillin. Okay, now we will move to the chemical degradation of penicillin. Okay, chemical degradation of penicillin. That is again important as per your example. So here you can see the penicillin structure basically. Okay, so in the presence of penicillinase or NaOH, okay, in the presence of what here penicillinase enzyme or NaOH, it will convert it into penicilloic acid. Okay, then again in the presence of strong acid, it leads to what penicillamine and penylaldehyde. Okay, penicillamine and penylaldehyde. And again whatever the penicilloic acid through penicillinase enzyme will get, so in the presence because of heat, by removal of CO2, means by decarboxylation reaction, it will convert it into penyloic acid, and further in the presence of this HgCl2 water, this penyloic acid will convert it into penicillamine and penicillaldehyde. Okay, so this is first pathway of degradation. Second is what, again in the presence of alcohol. Okay, so penicillin in the presence of CH3OH, means methanol, will get the methyl penicillinate. Okay, and simultaneously this penicillin in the presence of dilute HCl at pH 2 will get the penicillic acid, methyl penalate and penicillamine. Okay, these different components will get also by in the presence of HgCl2 and water. Okay, by conversion of methyl penicillinate to this penylic acid, methyl penaldate and penicillamine. Okay, so this is what the second way of degradation of penicillin. Next is what your, again at pH 4 penicillin will give the penicillinic acid. Okay, and further this penicillinic acid in the presence of water will get the penamaldic acid. Okay, now this penamaldic acid will further leads to penicillamine penaldic acid. Okay, and again this penaldic acid by decarboxylation reaction will get the penicillaldehyde. Okay, so this is what about the chemical degradation. Now the enzymatic hydrolysis with penicillinase. Okay, enzymatic hydrolysis with penicillinase or beta lactamase. Okay, so as already we know penicillin in the presence of penicillinase or beta lactamase enzyme, okay, will get the penicilloic acid, means what beta lactam ring has been broken. Initially in chemistry we have seen this penicillin has been broken by penicillinase or beta lactamase enzyme. Also the enzymatic hydrolysis with amidase enzyme. Okay, by amidase enzyme it is also whatever the amide group, okay, at side chain, it will hydrolyzes penicillin will in the presence of amidase or penicillin acyclase. Okay, so it will gives the 6 APA, 6 amino penicillinic acid plus carboxylic acid. Okay, so these different particular metabolites will get after the chemical degradation of penicillin. Okay, now here is what the general method for synthesis of penicillin, okay, given over here. As already we know penicillin production of 6 APA means 6 amino penicillinic acid. Okay, so penicillin in the presence of penicillin acylase or penicillin amidase will give the 6 amino penicillinic acid, 6 APA. Okay, so now if we want to synthesize the penicillin G from this 6 APA, okay, so this 6 APA plus 2 phenyl acetyl chloride, okay, in the presence of whatever 2 phenyl acetyl chloride, okay, in acidic condition will get the penicillin G. Okay, so this is what the general method for synthesis of your penicillin. Now here the adverse effect of penicillin given. Okay, so these are the common adverse effect: diarrhea, that is watery or bloody. Okay, then fever, chills, body ache, flu symptoms is urinating less than usual or not at all, severe skin rash, itching or peeling. Okay, then agitation, confusion, unusual thoughts or behavior, seizures, blackout or convulsions we can call, nausea, vomiting, stomach pains. Okay, then vaginal itching or discharge, headache, thirst. Okay, white patches are inside your mouth, okay, or your throat. Okay, this is what about the different adverse effect. Just try to remember these all. Okay, important as per your GPAT examination also. Now here is what your therapeutic uses. Okay, so useful against these different infections, okay, microorganism infections, so pneumococcal infections, pneumococcal meningitis, pneumococcal pneumonia, okay, streptococcal infections, okay, also useful in case of streptococcal pneumonia, arthritis, meningitis, endocarditis, okay, also useful in case of your staphylococcus infection, meningococcal infection, gonococcal infection, syphilis, diphtheria, anthrax, okay, clostridia infections, also in case of surgical procedures in patient with valvular heart diseases or vascular heart diseases we can call it, okay. So these are what the different therapeutic uses, okay. So now here is what whatever the details of penicillin we have seen in these two sessions, okay. Just study the well, practice all the structures, okay. Whatever the reactions, okay, that need to be practiced, okay. Whatever this penicillin has been over, in next session we will start the next beta lactam antibiotics, cephalosporin, okay. Now here the pictorial diagram has been given, that is what warning, okay. So basically what is the warning? The antibiotic don't work for the viruses, okay, like cold and flu. Using them for viruses will not make you feel better or get back to the work fast, okay. So that should be the remember, okay, that warning should be the remember by the particular patient, okay, as already the precaution that we have seen in introductory part, okay. Now here is what you can see that during these particular wars how the treatment of infectious diseases has been going on, okay. The centuries earlier women had learned to use crude preparations for their topical treatment of infections, okay. So thank you, happy learning.